This game recap is brought to you by Manscaped's Foot Duster Foot Deodorant. Say goodbye to stinky foot funk with this essential deodorant spray. Head over to manscaped.com and use the promo code SACCITY for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. The Foot Duster Foot Deodorant by Manscaped. The best protection any place below the waist.
It's the Miami Dolphins defeating the Baltimore Ravens, not 38. The Miami Dolphins defeating the Baltimore Ravens 42-38. Tua Tagovailoa headlining this game with 6 touchdown passes. But shout out Lamar Jackson for doing what he did with 318 yards passing, 119 yards rushing. He was a dog in this game. Lamar Jackson, special shout out. But let's start right there. Your guy Tua Tagovailoa in this game, 6 touchdown passes, almost 500 passing yards, just 500 passing yards alone in this game. What did you think of Tua's performance here?
Outstanding. Like, and this is very unlike a Jameis Winston. Tua threw 2 picks in this game to get, like, there was 2 interceptions early in this game and got them a little bit behind, and one of them was a great plays. He was able to go and make those plays when it mattered most. And I do not want to hear certain conversations anymore. There's a few conversations I don't want to hear anymore. Number one, that Tua can't throw the ball down the field. All those people that said that, just shut the hell up. Like, you know how stupid you sound when you say an NFL quarterback can't make that throw, and yet Tyreek Hill's running behind the defense, and what does Tua do? Put it right in his hands, and he's gone. The second thing is, I'm going to tell myself to shut the hell up about left-handed quarterbacks. Tua is accurate. He is capable proving he is capable when given the weapons to be successful in this league. And it doesn't always look like Justin Herbert. Is there something Justin Herbert does that makes it look better than Tua? Yeah, I will admit that. There's something about those big, strong, physical quarterbacks that are super athletic. There's something about the way that it looks that Tua doesn't look that way because he's smaller, he's left-handed. But when you watch the game and you see how effective Tua is, you're like, dude, that's an NFL quarterback, and he can do that. And so I just think people need to really give him his credit, because there's been so much talk about him versus Herbert and what he's able to do versus Herbert and what he's not able to do versus Herbert and all this stuff. And here we are again. And you look at their starting records as a quarterback, and I know wins are not a quarterback stat, but guess what the media and what we do? We look at wins as a quarterback stat. Tua has more wins. Tua has a better record than Justin Herbert. All of the things that people love about Justin Herbert, he has not been as successful as Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, that's not just for Justin Herbert versus Tua. That's that entire 2020 draft class. That Tua Tagovailoa's win percentage his win percentage is more than Herbert and Burrow and all those guys in that 2020 draft class. Like, he's like Tua. Like, I heard this the other day. I don't remember who said it, but it really made me think, and it made me upset, honestly, because of how I don't want to say down I have been of Tua, but how much questioning I've given Tua Tagovailoa throughout his career in the NFL. I've questioned it so much, and I'm an Alabama fan. Like, I am an Alabama fan. Like, I should have bias towards Tua. I should say, hey, Tua, you're my dude. You were my quarterback. You won me games in Alabama. You were a dog at Alabama. You're a winner at Alabama. He's done the same thing in the NFL. Like, we talked about Joe Burrow, like, last year. It was the storyline of this. Like, Joe Burrow just wins everywhere. He won in college. He's winning now in the NFL. He's got the swag. Tua Tagovailoa is going to be the Joe Burrow this year, where we're going to be saying every week that Tua Tagovailoa is a winner. He is a natural-born winner.
That's what's funny to me.
He won in college. He's winning in the NFL. Start putting some respect on Tua Tagovailoa's name.
That's what's so funny to me, is because we've done that in the past with guys. Like, I hear the conversations about Jimmy Garoppolo, and we're like, he looks pedestrian. Oh, but he wins games. But he wins games. But he wins games. Joe Burrow, but he wins games. It doesn't always look pretty, but he wins the games. Well, that's all Tua's done since he's been in the league, is win games, and yet there's still question marks about him. I just don't like how we pick and choose when that applies. So if a guy's a winner, a guy's a winner. Mac Jones, he's a winner. Doesn't matter. He wins games. But it looks just as ugly as Tua's wins, like, sometimes. So how do we separate that? And I think it's time to stop that. And I think with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, is they are going to force that conversation to be stopped because of how explosive they are. And Vinny, Tyreek Hill is a dog, man. Tyreek Hill is.
So I've been told.
Listen, man, I get it, and I know it's not these. All these guys have different things about them. Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. First of all, the wide receiver position. We got great ones.
Yeah,
Tyreek Hill is still, to me, the most dangerous player in the NFL. He is the most maybe outside of a Lamar Jackson because he gets the ball every play in his hands, but. From a wide receiver standpoint, there is not anybody that I'm more fearful of playing against than Tyreek Hill.
Well, the thing is with Tyreek Hill, it's so easy for him to just explode. Like it honestly, I think I would compare it to like a Lamar Jackson, like where it's like so easy for them to just dominate. But Tyreek Hill at the wide receiver position, you don't see that many wide receivers, if any wide receivers, easily have a dominant game like he does. Like where it's just his stats are like you could have 2 receptions for 100 yards for Tyreek Hill, and that'd be a thing. Like that'd be a stat line. It's not as easy for other wide receivers to do that, but it's easy for Tyreek Hill to do that. And I'll take you just a personal story here. We've had our different. I've had my disrespect to Tyreek Hill when I compare him to Mike Evans, and we've both presented fair arguments on that status. But I drafted Tyreek Hill yesterday in our DFS, and I was going back and forth between him and AJ Brown. And I was like, oh man, Marcus Peters is back. Tyreek Hill, Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, like that. Do I worry about that? And I was like, you know what? Screw it. He's Tyreek freaking Hill. That's what we're just saying now at this point. He is Tyreek freaking Hill, and it doesn't matter what his matchup is. It doesn't matter what defense he's matched up against. He could easily go off for 2 for 100 yards and a touchdown, or 2 for 200 yards, whatever.
Every time the ball's in his hands, every single time that he touches the ball, it could be a touchdown.
It could, he could take it to that.
That's the scary part about a guy like that. When you give a guy like that 11 targets, and he's able to bring home or 11 catches, and you're at 13 targets, and he's able to catch 11 balls. Yeah, 200 yards is nothing because all of his plays are so explosive. Run after the catch, getting behind defenses. Tyreek Hill with a coach like Andy Reid and then a mind like Mike McDaniels. Good luck, man. This dude's going to have a monster year. Him and Jalen Waddle are going to go bananas this year, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Best wide receiver duo in the NFL?
Whew.
Are we at that point? Early?
I'm thinking, but I'm like, who competes with them?
I mean, you got when fully healthy.
If guys were fully healthy, like I would put like Godwin and Evans up there.
Yeah. Okay.
Chase and Higgins would be up there.
But you'd have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill right there.
But above them, I put it this way: if they're not the best from a pure, like when I say best wide receivers, like the reason I still call Devontae Adams the best wide receiver in football is because I look at things that most people aren't looking at, like how you play the receiver position. So best, maybe not. I maybe not say the best because I probably would put Jamar Chase and T. Higgins ahead of them. I probably would put, to be honest, I'd probably put Mike Evans and Chris Godwin ahead of them as a tandem as far as best talent-wise. Because I think Chris Godwin's way up here where people don't give him the credit. But from a pure who do I not want to play, I do not want to see Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill because they are the most explosive, game-changing, toughest to really game plan for because of their ability when the ball's in their hands with that speed. It's like no other, and they're really, really good. And Miami's offense is going to be special. It's going to be special.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun season to, like you talked earlier about the Lions being like one of the teams you have the most fun watching
Bills Dolphins next week, by the way. Bills Dolphins next week is going to be goodness. I can't wait because two defenses we think highly of, but 2 explosive offenses, very similar to this Baltimore Miami game. Which defense is going to make the plays when it matters the most? Like Miami's did when it mattered most, and then which offenses are just going to say, we don't care what kind of defense you have, we're going to explode. So
I think, and I don't want to say this, but it is another prove it game for the Miami Dolphins. Like you have to, like they prove that they can do it, that they can be that they can beat a great team that they should be starting to be considered on that level. But can you do it in a row? Can you do it consistently? And now you'll have that test again against the Buffalo Bills next week.